105 DGS. As I said earlier, I'll be out tomorrow. Someone in the family is having surgery, so it's all Glovers on deck, and we're taking care of that person. I'll be back in on Monday and here all next week. Our buddy George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet is here to talk some tech and some AI. And congratulations, 9th year in a row.
9th year in a row.
Number one IT shop.
Yep, number one on the list.
I was asking George, who hates you the most? He's like, oh, this guy, this company, this company.
Oh, yeah.
9 in a row. That's great.
9 in a row. We're going to go for a decade.
Fantastic.
Yep. Not just on the list, but number one at the top of the list.
You said that your parents are listening from California?
They are. They're out in Calabasas.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. George's mom and dad.
That's right.
And they're concerned about the storms. And I told you I was without power for 5 days. This ties into what you do.
Yes.
Because a lot of people lose their IT because the transformers get hit or storms or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
But you guys can help that.
Absolutely. Disaster recovery is key in what we do to help make sure that you can maintain business continuity. It's called BCDR, Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery.
I knew that.
And when that happens, you have to be able to pick up a couple of devices on your desk. Everybody goes to where there's power and keep your company running. And that is something we make sure you have in place, policy, full guidelines ready to go so that in the event that happens, nobody thinks it does.
It happened to you one time, right?
Absolutely.
And you guys didn't go down at all.
No, we were out for a week with no power because we had a transformer explode. It wasn't even a storm. It was just a transformer exploded. Everybody picked up their devices, went home to their home internet, and nobody knew the wiser. The phone still rang. Everybody worked from where they were. We were still up and running as if nothing happened. Yeah.
So you have 3 topics for us.
I do. Some really good stuff on AI. Now, the AI Bill of Rights came out in October.
Who wrote that?
Think about that. It came from the White House.
Oh.
So I won't get too political here, but it's very interesting if you get a chance to go through it. I got some highlights here, though. Some good positive things that came from it are the fact that I'm just glad that we're, as a species, taking action on this, because we've talked about how bad this could be 30 years from now. So I'm glad we are looking at a blueprint for a Bill of Rights. I'm also glad that, at least we're setting some guidelines for these developers. There's some negatives, though, with it, and that is they don't talk about how personal identifiable information will be protected. So your PII, if you ever hear that, PII, that is your birthday social number. And when if AI gets a hold of that, how does that make sure it doesn't get released?
Let me drill down to that real quick.
Sure.
When you hear like, oh, eBay was hacked, and if you use eBay, they have all of your personal information. And so what does that mean? I know you know all about the dark web. What do people typically do with that?
So they'll take pieces of whatever they can get, whatever data they can get, sell it on the dark web, and it sits out there. And then as other bad actors are gathering your information, they'll put it all together until they get one identity, and then that goes for really big bucks. And then they'll use that to open credit cards and so forth. But it's not the person that hacks your data that ends up using it first. It ends up getting sold multiple times on the dark web before it's actually combined and put together and used. So that's why personal identifiable information is extremely important. And when you bring AI into things like HIPAA software, when you go to the doctor and all your information is stored there, if AI gets put on that system, you have to have regulations to ensure that information is not being released in a bad way. And that's something that we all need to be very aware of. And that's it seems like it's never going to happen to me, but it does. It absolutely does. Happens every single day. The other thing that I was really worried about with this is they don't talk about the politicization or putting politics into AI and making it either woke or non-woke or left or right or whatever leaning it may be. They don't talk about how that is going to be policed or how that's going to be measured with incorrect data that's out there or misinformation.
How is it being handled now?
Right now, it's just a free-for-all, and that's what scares a lot of people because it could end up where cancel culture becomes a major problem.
Yeah.
Because if a company integrates AI that isn't regulated the right way, and that AI starts reading all the employees' social media posts, starts reading their emails, starts reading all of their inter-company chat that's going on, and then makes judgment calls on what they're saying and sends it to their boss,
wow,
you could end up with a very serious cancel culture issue.